Hi, 6th grade. Time to complete a video lesson for English. Let's begin. Please label your notebooks 13.2 Adverbs Modifying Adjectives and Adverbs, page 397. By now you know the routine. So just as a reminder, please watch the video first, then go back to take the required notes. You already know and have listed the definition of an adverb, but here's a quick review. An adverb is a word that modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Please refer to your notebook for the list of commonly used adverbs. In Lesson 13.1, we covered how adverbs modified verbs. Lesson 13.2 will focus on how adverbs modify adjectives and other adverbs. Adverb modifying adverbs, it intensifies the meaning of adjectives. An adverb that modifies another adverb is called an intensifier. The questions you ask are how, when, and where. Most often you use how. Here are some examples. Christy is extremely talented. Follow your steps. What is the adjective in the sentence? Talented. Self-check. Who or what is talented? Christy. And she's a noun, so I can continue with my steps. Ask how. How talented? Well, extremely. This means making extremely the adverb. Now, if the sentence was Christy is talented, the reader does get the idea that she is talented, but by adding the adverb extremely, it stresses how talented Christy is. Another example, my incredibly goofy dog loves to play in the snow. Yeah, and she certainly does. Follow your steps. What is the adjective? Goofy. Who or what is goofy? Dog. How plus goofy equals incredibly. Now, if you're having trouble finding the adjective, you can start with the noun first. Dog is a noun. Is there a word that describes dog? Goofy. Then you go back to your steps. How plus goofy equals incredibly, which is the adverb. Now, sometimes you have to change the question word, but as we said, how is the most common one used. Use the set of steps that works best for you. Time to pause the video for note-taking. I marked what you need to have in your notes. Now we will cover how adverbs modify other adverbs. The Cubs can quite easily win another World Series. You didn't think there'd be a video lesson without me mentioning the Cubs, did you? This is where having a list of commonly used adverbs comes in handy. Let's identify the words in a sentence. The verb can win. Who can win? Cubs is the subject. Cubs can win plus what? World Series, and that's the direct object. You are pros at this by now, but what about the other words in a sentence? Quite, easily, another? Go back to your question words to identify adjectives. Ask what kind, how many, which one. But to keep the focus on this lesson as adverbs, we won't spend much time on the adjectives for this example. Quite plus how, when, where, or which. Which question word works best for this example? I hope you answered how. Quite plus how equals easily. Since easily ends with an ly, we know that easily is an adverb that is modified by quite. But remember, not all adverbs end with ly. Since easily is an adverb, for the bonus, can you identify what easily modifies? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. It identifies when, which is a verb. Remember, if the adverb modifies an adverb, that means that second adverb must also modify another word. But that word can be a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. And if that one leads to an adverb, then you got to find the other word that adverb modifies. And so on, and so on, and so on. As far as the word another goes, that's an adjective modifying World Series. Let's try one example, but we will concentrate only on adverbs. I read the book rather slowly. From my adverb list, I know rather is an adverb, even though it doesn't end with an ly. Follow your steps. Rather plus Which question word fits? How. Rather plus how. Rather how? Slowly. So slowly is the adverb that is being modified by rather, and slowly is also an adverb. Hint: in most cases, adverbs come directly before the word they modify or describe. Pause the video and jot down the required notes for class. We will use your notes in class to practice the adverbs and what they modify, especially adverbs and other adjectives.